Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Please trade with capital you can afford to lose. The views shared in this video are not intended as trade recommendations. This video's sole purpose is to be a personal log entry on which to gauge my own performance. Viewers are solely responsible for how they use this information and for their own results. Hey, what's up everybody? Just going to try to keep this short and sweet here today. You've got 9:30 a.m. cash open New York time. Saw responsive selling down into the zone. As you can see, we opened right at the prior high of the day. So pretty much, I was assuming there's going to be a battle here to see, sellers trying to keep the auction within yesterday's range and buyers trying to push the auction up into no man's land above the all-time highs here. And so that initial push down saw buyers step in right here at 96.75. We pushed up to 98.75, one tick shy of the overnight high, which was here at 99. And that is the opening swing. So the first move we saw outside of the opening swing was an extension lower. So sellers are kind of in control early, and then they kind of just dissipated here, and we saw a push out of the zone. So that, to me, was saying sellers had a chance to keep the auction inside yesterday's range and continue lower, but they were unable to hold, and buyers kind of prevailed out of this area. Okay, so we attacked the century figure. It's a pretty big number, 2400. So I expected to see a little bit of rejection. First time, sure. Second time, sure. But then, I mean, they're pulling each time we get up here, so I'm expecting this to break, right? And so you can see I start putting my stop order in down here, but I just cancel it because I want to wait. I mean, if it gets a flush or something, I don't want to get stuck there. But I'm looking long. I'm expecting this 400 level to break. Buyers have shown me that they're ready to keep the auction above yesterday's range, and let's see what happens. Can't drag it. There we go. All right, so as we chop sideways, I'm still wanting to see a test of this consolidation area, which is just below the mid. I guess the mid would have been right around 98 here, which is kind of perfect. I mean, this is a pretty good confluence of levels with the mid, the open, prior high a day, all-time highs, all of that. And we'd already tested below. So as you can see here, as soon as we tested down, and saw, let's draw a little rectangle here for you. This is what I was looking at right here. And so I see a test here down into this zone, and I see buyers start to push back up out of the zone. And so I want to get in. I'm long from 97.5. I've got my scale out target set one tick shy of the swing highs here. And my stop is below this liquidity, also below this rectangle area, and happens to be the initial balance low. Pretty good wrong area, as far as I'm concerned. But look at this chop sideways. This is 15 minutes per window here. So this is a half hour just sideways nonsense, and we start to rotate back down. I move my stop up, as you can see, to the bottom of this rectangle, knowing that I'm probably wrong here. And then once we get one tick away from that and push back up, then I know I'm definitely wrong here, because then we've already tested one tick away from my stop. I kind of got away with one there. So if it gets back down, I'm expecting to get stopped out. And it starts to rotate back down, and as soon as I see that happen, I went ahead and took off this. I flattened this trade for a loss of 3 ticks per contract. So that was a failed trade. And we get further extension to the downside. A little flush here, and looks like they pulled here. We might have got a little collision. No, they pulled here for the most part. But so now we're back inside the prior range, right? We tested higher. We tested this 2400 century figure 4 times, and we're unable to get back up. We put in a lower high, chopped sideways, moved back down into this area, and have now pushed below that again. Okay, so now I'm looking short, and I don't want to risk too much. You know, I'm already hurting on the day a little bit. I don't want to hit my daily loss limit. So I want to wait and see. Now I'm looking at this zipper. Let me delete this. Let's add a new one. Now I'm looking here, basically. And we did see this test of this area, but I wasn't able to quite hop on that because I wanted to see this 9750 level taken, because as you can see in this chart range anyway, the developing volume point of control is right here at 9750. So I was waiting to see that level tested. I'm pretty sure that was also the mid at this point. And so again, we've got a ton of backup here. I've got the consolidation above as backup that we were unable to break through the 2400 level. We've got the mid, the open, the prior high a day. What's up, buddy? My son just came in. You want to come say hi? Here, come here. You got a mouthful of what? Cantaloupe? Say hi.
Hi.
Yeah, that'll work. And so then I ended up getting short here, but almost getting stopped out. I've got a really tight stop here because it's just above this consolidation area. But again, I'm wrong, you know, up here. So I'm comfortable with that being my stop, even though it's pretty tight at only 5 ticks. Went within 1 tick of getting stopped, within 1 tick of getting stopped again, and starts to rotate down. As it rotates down, I'm a little bit concerned about this consolidation area. I'm able to move my stop down a tick just to equal highs here, because as we move down, if it's going to rotate back up, I assume it's going to take me out for 1 extra tick there. So there we go. I got the first scale out, which is right here at the IB low, but it was 1 tick ahead of, I counted this as the most recent swing high, swing low. If you look at a 2-tick Renko chart, this 95.75 area was actually the swing low before it started rotating back up, which wasn't a great scale out area, but I was trying to get as much as possible here and expected more extension lower. And then my first true target after my scale out is right here at 94.75. That's because it's 3 ticks ahead of the prior volume point of control, 1 tick ahead of the overnight volume point of control. Both areas I expect to act as a magnet and get tested, which happened. We tested within 1 tick of this prior volume point of control and then rotated back up. So at this point, I've gotten my scale out for half of my campaign here, which is 6 contracts. So there's 3 taken off there. There's 1 taken off here. You can watch this theoretical average just start to pop, boom, boom, and that's great to see. That's exciting. I leave my stop in the same place. It's still my wrong point as far as I'm concerned, back here above the prior high a day. And it's above the developing volume point of control again. I expect the initial balance low to provide a little bit of resistance, as well as the opening swing low and the mid. So all of that is in front of my still wrong area. And then we see a flush down to take out my next target, which was the double bottom overnight low. Now this overnight low is no longer a valid level as far as the overnight stat is concerned, but it is still a weak level just because of the kurtosis of the volume histogram being so sharp overnight and the double bottom. We also hit 23 quarter once, and we hit 93 quarter once, and 93 half was tapped twice. Just a really sharp drop off there on the volume. So I still expected it to be taken, and so that is 3 ticks ahead of that level. Now, as we move back up, I'm stalking an area short to add on because I really just want to use all of this prior kind of risk management to enter my next trade without having any risk, right? My theoretical average will come down some, but I'm not going to lose any money on the trade. So I was expecting to see this 96 level tested and rejected, and then I wanted to jump on that. But this was a nice consolidation area and ended up holding up. And we see the test of that start to rotate back down. And this took all day. I mean, just was miserable to sit through and watch, and just churned sideways, moved back up. I would have been sweating bullets here if I'd have been short from here. Obviously, we didn't get to the level that I wanted, so I wasn't. But basically, still looking for the prior low a day to be tested. That would qualify as uh, an overlapping day or engulfing day today of yesterday's action. So that's my final target, as I have one contract left. Still have the same stop, and 3:30 comes around, and the market just falls out. So fortunately, was able. You can see here we get a test down here as this pushes down, and we get this big continuation move. It came down to within one tick of my target and started to rotate back up. So I pushed my target up 2 ticks and it took it, and eventually would have gotten it anyways, but I don't want it to come all the way down here and then turn around in the last 20 minutes here of the cash open and just stop me out. So I'm willing to take those 2 ticks, and that's what happened. So not much trade management had to happen there. I wasn't able to get anything else on. Just really lucky, if not anything else. And I don't know. Got away with one today. Was almost stopped out by a tick several times, and ended up hitting all of my targets. So that was the trade today. I hope you guys did well, and I'd love to see what you guys did and what you saw. So I could get a little insight to help me out as well. So please leave a comment. Hit me up on Twitter, anything. Let me know what you saw, something that I didn't do right that you would have done differently, anything, man. I'd really appreciate it. And thanks for watching. See you guys next time.